Hi everyone, this is Sana. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I just want to um, share with you a couple of tips to get you in the right mindset in order to start off this new year of 2019. So here are my tips. My first tip is to accept the unexpected things um, in life and to stay grounded when you face chaotic situations. So that way, what happens is when we accept things that are unexpected, chaotic, then instead of running away from them, then it protects us from wasting our time in getting stuck in a situation where we have to be forced to accept things. So it's better to accept things and then to arrive at a place of stability and detachment um, in terms of our view of any kind of difficult life situation, for instance. And my next advice is that we should try to, in this new year, to see if there are any relations in our lives or any people in our lives that we idealize. And we should try to look at them and accept them for what they are, and still care about them for what they are instead of idealizing them and living in an illusional sort of a state. And the problem with illusional sort of states is that one day the reality um, might come crashing down on us if we don't take the initiative to see people for and accept people for what they really truly are, or where they are at this point in terms of their development on the level of consciousness. And my next advice after this is that we are responsible to create our own emotional stability. So we need to create our own emotional stability, and we need to understand that no one else is going to come and create it for us. The more emotionally stable that we are, the more emotionally grounded that we are, the more we are able to make choices and decisions from a peaceful, balanced stance instead of from an erratic sort of stance. Because the people that are not emotionally stable, they behave in a like um, not just in an erratic way, but they behave out of judgment. They behave as a response instead of the converse, which is emotionally stable people. They behave out of um, an open heart, open mind, a peacefulness, and they think of everything from that balanced perspective, and so they're able to make better decisions, better choices in life because they're coming, and they're able to move forward in life because they're coming from a balanced, peaceful sort of perspective. And another advice that I have is that we have to try to think differently in those aspects of our lives where we are constantly um, failing and facing difficulty that, when we think about it, is emanating from our own thoughts. So everything we experience in reality comes from our own thoughts. So what would be beneficial to do is see the aspects of our lives where our thoughts are not assisting us to move forward, and to identify different ways of thinking about those aspects, ways that might be beneficial, that might be better for us. And another advice that I have is to keep your values um, and live your values, but try not to force your values on other people, because they have a right to free will autonomy just like you have, and the Creator, God Almighty, never interferes with anyone's free will. So we should respect other people's free will and their ability to make choices as well. And we should accept that our values many times are different from other people's values. And that it's because they're at a different level of awareness. And that's fine. You know, when maybe we might have the better values, but in time they might be able to it might take them longer, perhaps, to get to our level of of morality or values or ethics, and that's fine because they are a soul just like we are a soul, and they're on a journey that is spiritual in nature and material in reality, just like we are. And um, my next advice would be that we need to identify our needs in contrast to other people's needs, and in order to make any relation of ours with anyone, any family member, any friend, for things, or even bosses, coworkers, for things to work, um, what we could do is identify other people's needs and identify our needs, and then um, create a balanced sort of win-win situation for everyone, so that everyone's needs are met at you know at a level of um, acceptance and satisfaction. So that would be my advice on how to get along better with the people that you have to deal with on a regular basis, is by balancing your needs with their needs. And my final tip or advice would be on the topic of when we care about someone, then we need to realize that um, if we really care about someone and we see them going off on the wrong track, then it kind of becomes incumbent upon us to nudge them in the direction of being on the right track, um, instead of just ignoring that they're going off on the wrong track. So if you see someone um, headed in a direction that would lead them to regress instead of progress, then, and if you really care about them especially, then take time to try to coach that person in a respectful way. And of course, at the end of the day, if they're receptive to your coaching and your advice, that's to their benefit. But if they want to still proceed on to in a direction in life that's you know going to be detrimental to them, then that's their free will, that's their choice. But as someone that cares about someone, you certainly do want to take an opportunity to guide anyone that you see is in any way being misguided or is off track, or whatever the case might be. So I hope that these tips help us all to think a little bit differently as we approach this new year, and to think differently, and to be more conscious of how we relate to others and the dynamics of that. And I would like to also update you about my book. And my book is now complete, and I've handed it over to a couple of beta readers. These are people that I trust, and I just want to get their feedback about any suggestions that they might have. And once I get that approval, or and any changes that need to be made, then I'm looking very forward, and I'm very excited to consider sharing it with you. Of course, I'll share it with you. So I will be looking forward to publishing it very soon, God willing. And thank you for watching. Thank you for all your support of my page. And as far as I'm concerned, sometimes I notice people are inquiring about my background. So I have a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Toronto. I graduated with my degree was focused on English literature, mainly because I love writing and reading, and classical English literature. That's what my degree was in. And after that, I was working in corporate head offices, and in my most recent job, I was working as a regional payroll auditor. Um, I was responsible for auditing payroll for certain areas, like all of Toronto, all of Quebec, that kind of thing. Um, and now, since that job, I have been busy writing my first self-help book, and that is what I'm excited to share with you. And so I'll give you all the information about that very soon, God willing.
Okay, so um, this is from www.short-funny.com, hilarious jokes.php. And so a wife complains to her husband. She says, just look at the couple down the road. How lovely they are. He keeps holding her hand, kissing her, holding the door for her. Why can't you do the same? And the husband says, are you mad? I barely know that woman. Here's another joke. Little Johnny asks his father, he says, Father, where does the wind come from? And why do dogs bark? And his father says, I don't know. And then the son says, why is the earth round? And his father says, I don't know. And then the son says, well, Dad, does it disturb you that I ask you so many questions? And the father says, no, son, please ask, otherwise you will never learn anything. uh, it says, three guys are stranded in a desert. By a stroke of luck, they find a magic genie lamp. The genie grants each of them one wish. The first guy wishes to be back home, and the genie grants that wish. The second guy wishes the same thing, and the genie again grants that wish. The third guy says, it feels very lonely here now. I wish my friends were here with me. And so the genie grants that wish.
Thank you very much once again for watching, and have a beautiful day and very blessed 2019. Also, I've made a video on the Canadian autumn, and I wanted to share that with you guys earlier, but due to some reasons I was not able to, some editing issues. So the Canadian autumn video, I will be either sharing that with you within this video, or I'll be sharing it separately. I'm not quite sure, but it's ready and I want to share it with you. Okay, so guys, have a great day. Thank you for all your support. Bye bye.